Simple right now. Follow what we see instead of making it up. Alright. I'm going to start breaking down my shapes, or adding detail to my shapes rather. If you have a straight line on the bottom of your cup, arch it. Whenever you have a cone, or a cylinder, or a sphere, anything that is a round shape, you will never have a bottom line that is flat. Okay? It looks awfully flat, but there is a bit of an arch to it. I have a bit of a lip up here. I'm going to go inside my cup real quick. Come down. This is where it's sitting on the table. And then it arches out. Okay. If you feel like you're more advanced, if you feel comfortable doing it, you don't have to break these down into shapes as you're drawing it. When you're blocking it in, if you want to add that line there, that little indentation, do it. Arch, a mirrored line, a reverse C, or an opposite C, and that becomes the bottom of our cup. Our brick shape is fine. Don't need to add anything to it right now until we do our value. Maybe we'll turn it into something. Our jar over here. Where I have my rectangle and I have my, I want to make it into a cylinder, so I'm going to round off the bottom. Really sketchy. This has more of a soft edge than a point. So make your soft edges. Just know that you're going to be erasing a lot over here. Don't press hard. At any point you see a lot of lines that you know you're not going to need, start erasing them. That's fine. I'm going to go up here about 2 inches from 2 or 3 inches, 2.5 inches. I'm going to make a line that mimics this arch. So we're breaking this bar, or this bottle, down into this cylinder. Then we're going to have a cone and another cylinder, like a coaster. So this line is representative of this line, this change of plane. Okay. Bless you. Add my so I get this right, so I get the angles right. I'm going to go in from my original line, about 1/4 inch, straight down on each side. About maybe 1 inch. We're doing a little guessing, eyeballing. As long as it looks good, as long as it's aesthetically pleasing, you're good to go. Okay, so I've got that really flat cylinder, which is the coil of my jar, and I can add my diagonals. That way they're similar. When you guys are drawing bottles and jars, especially things that are completely symmetrical on both sides, when you get into your bigger drawing, you can draw one side. I'll give you a sliver of tracing paper. You'll trace that side, you'll flip it over, and you'll trace that side. Or redraw it on that side. It's called transferring. It's not tracing if it's your own work. Just duplicating. arch. There. Knowing that this is the top of my jar, I have that really flat oval, almost an ellipse. It's not perfect right now, don't worry about it, we're still blocking in. I'm going to get rid of some of my lines, they're starting to get a little annoying. Finish the lid, come straight down. Then that arch mimics that arch. When we look at our picture, ours is really illustrative right now, just line drawing, a contour drawing. I know I'm going to need another lip right inside that cylinder. Okay. I'm going to check out my negative space. I'm looking at my jar right here. I've got this line going straight down on both sides. Got it. Got another line going straight down on both sides. Got it. Then I have my arch going into my diagonal right there. Got it. Pay attention to your negative space. If you have this line going all the way out here, it's wrong. Say that again. Really thin oval up top. We want to make it into a really thin cylinder. So thin oval, underneath that line about 1/4 of an inch. You redraw that line, and you add 2 vertical lines to connect them. So, really thin oval. Think of an ellipse. A little bit more rounded of an edge. 1/4 of an inch. You can start in the middle. That way you know you want it to be that distance. Straight down. And that becomes your lid. Get to this point for tomorrow, get the jar finished. Just the contour drawing, the outline, no details. Tomorrow we'll start with the skull. Thursday we'll start adding the details with the value. A lot of your details come through value, through your blending stump and your erasers, not through your pencil drawing, okay? Realism comes through value. Illustrations come through dark outlines, cartoons. Right now this is a cartoon. I told you at the beginning of the year, the difference between cartoons and realism is details. Peter Griffin becomes a normal fat guy the more details you add. The more shadows you add, the more contours you add. So if I'm looking at my picture, I've got a little bit I'm a little stubby right here. I might have gone out a little too far here. Sit back and look at it. Look at it compared to your reference. Say that again. Shapes. Break it down into shapes. I want to know how to draw an elephant, Mr. Ball. Break it down into shapes. Add details.